It's time to talk about the Razzies. And the thing about the Razzies is that a lot of the time I agree with them a lot more than when I agree with the Oscars. And honestly, a large part of that is that it seems like the Razzies actually take time to go further back in the year than the Oscars do. And a large part of that may have to do with the fact that a lot of the films that might garner Oscars are released later in the movie, but a lot of the time, I think great movies in the beginning of the year get kind of cheated when Oscar season rolls around because it doesn't really seem like they get a. It's almost like the Academy doesn't remember that something like Side Effects came out, or something like or back in 2012 even something like The Gray, like Best Actor Liam Neeson, The Gray, or Best Cinematography or Sound Mixing, The Gray. So the Razzies, thankfully, they're why I think I like the Razzies better is that one of the reasons is that, like I said, they actually take time to go back and revisit early films of the year. Because let's face it, January is a dumping ground for movies. So if they did not look there, then they would miss out on a bunch of horrible movies. Let's see. So, worst screenplay, we have Movie 43, which has a lot of actors that, or has a lot of writers that I'm not even going to bother to name. We have A Medea Christmas, written by Tyler Perry. We have The Lone Ranger, written by Justin Haith, Ted Elliott, and Terry Rossio. And we have Grown Ups 2, written by Adam Sandler, Tim Herlihy, and Fred Wolf. And After Earth, written by M. Night Shyamalan and Gary Whitta, based on a story by Will Smith. What is lacking on this is Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. Anyone? Another thing that I thought would make it on here, but ended up not making it on here, was Paranoia. I thought Paranoia would make it on this one for sure, but apparently not. So yeah. If I had to pick, I would. Jeez, a lot of these are horrible. That's something I think you'll hear me say a lot, is that a lot of these are really horrible. Let's see. Wow, that's a tough one. Either Movie 43 or Grown Ups 2. Because Movie 43 was the worst movie of 2013 that I saw, and Grown Ups 2, it's Adam Sandler. That's all that needs to be said. It's Adam Sandler. It's a screenplay written by Adam Sandler. Which I'm still ashamed of the fact that Grown Ups 2 made more domestically than Pacific Rim. That is disgusting. That's just wrong. But yeah, either Movie 43 or Lone Ranger, I think, deserves this one. Probably might take it home, but I'm having trouble predicting. I usually have more trouble predicting Razzies. Maybe it's because I actually agree with them a lot more. Maybe it's because I don't know why I have trouble predicting the Razzies a lot of the time, because a lot of the time what I predict for the Razzies ends up not being what they go with. But then again, some of my preference might be colored by the fact that my preference might be colored by my anger at a particular movie. But I don't know. I just don't know. So, worst director, we have Gore Verbinski for The Lone Ranger. the 13 people who directed movie 43, M. Night Shyamalan for After Earth, Tyler Perry for A Medea Christmas and Temptation, and Dennis Dugan from Grown Ups 2. Again, what seems to be lacking is Tommy Wirkola for Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, and Raja Gosnell for Smurfs 2. If I had to pick for this one, I would probably go with either. Honestly, I would be happy if Dennis Dugan, the movie 43 people, or Tyler Perry won this one. But if you put a gun to my head and ask me to choose, movie 43, the movie 43 directors. Worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel. We have Smurfs 2, Scary Movie 5, The Lone Ranger, The Hangover Part 3, and Grown Ups 2. Again, what seems to be missing is the Starving Games. I don't know. Worst Grown Ups 2. Because I don't think any of the other movies on here are just as unpleasant as Grown Ups 2. Because you could argue that the other movies on this list actually put in some effort. However little effort there was some. There was at least some small inkling of effort put in to even the worst movies on this list. Except for Grown Ups 2. I detected no effort. No effort was put into that as far as I could detect. So, if I had to pick my personal preference, it would be Grown Ups 2. Okay, let's see. Worst screen combo. We have the entire cast of Grown Ups 2, the entire cast of Movie 43, Lindsay Lohan and Charlie Sheen in Scary Movie 5, Tyler Perry and either Larry the Cable Guy or the worn out wig and dress in Medea Christmas, or Jaden Smith and Will Smith in After Earth. Honestly, it's not even close. I would go either Movie 43 or Grown Ups 2. Again. That would... Those would be my pick, because After Earth was just boring. I mean, After Earth, it didn't really make me angry so much as nearly put me to sleep. And again, there was effort. There was just no talent. Well, there wasn't really... Yeah, I can't really say that I don't really know how much I can blame on the actors for giving horrible performances, because really a large part of an actor's performance does have to do with the direction, and Shyamalan did direct this. Although I can place more blame on Will Smith than I can on Jaden Smith, because it was an idea by Will Smith. The story was by Will Smith. And he collaborated with Shyamalan, so yeah, After Earth is a nice runner-up, but I would either have to go the entire cast of Movie 43 or the entire cast of Grown Ups 2. Alright, so, worst supporting actress. We have Lindsay Lohan in Inappropriate Comedy and Scary Movie 5. We have Lady Gaga in Machete Kills. We have Kim Kardashian in Temptation. We have Katherine Heigl in The Big Wedding, which I had forgotten about. We have Salma Hayek in Grown Ups 2. Give it to Kardashian. Give it to Kardashian. She's not an actress. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. The Kardashians are not actresses. They're not. Honestly, Lady Gaga wasn't even that bad. She wasn't good in Machete Kills, but A, she wasn't really on screen for very long, and B, she didn't really have to give any other performance other than that kind of Terminatrix style killer performance. I mean, all she had to do was scowl at the camera and shoot people, and she did that relatively well. So I don't really know how much I can blame on Lady Gaga for that, but give it to Kim Kardashian, because at least Lady Gaga was not as bad as Kim Kardashian, even though she's not really an actress, and at least the other three people are actresses. So yeah, if I had to predict, I don't know. Worst supporting actor, we have Nick Swardson in Grown Ups 2 and A Haunted House. We have Will Smith in After Earth as Cypher Rage. We have Chris Brown in Battle of the Year, another movie that I had forgotten about. Larry the Cable Guy in A Medea Christmas, and Taylor Lautner in Grown Ups 2. Give it to Nick Swardson. No question, give it to Nick Swardson. Give it to Nick Swardson, because Will Smith, like I said, I don't really know how much you can blame on him, because that may have just been how he was directed. Taylor Lautner, again, I don't really know how much I could blame on him. Nick Swardson has no excuse. Nick Swardson is just an idiot. He does not know when to own up to a bad movie, as was proven during his reaction to the critics' savaging of Bucky Larson. So yeah, give it to Nick Swardson. He's not at all a good actor. He is not at all a good comedian. And honestly, these were two of the worst comedies of the year. Worst actress. We have Naomi Watts in Diana and Movie 43. We have Tyler Perry in A Medea Christmas. We have Lindsay Lohan in The Canyons, which I've never heard of. We have Selena Gomez in Getaway, and Halle Berry in The Call and Movie 43. Okay. I can understand nominating Halle Berry for The Call. No. I can understand nominating Halle Berry for Movie 43, because she was horrible in that. But The Call? Really? She wasn't bad in The Call. She was good. The Call was a good movie until the last half an hour. The Call isn't even on the same level of absolute horribleness as all the rest of these other movies. One of the only instances where I disagree. But again, if we're going strictly by Movie 43, then I can see nominating her. But Naomi Watts, I hate the fact that Naomi Watts is on here. Honestly, give it to either Tyler Perry or Selena Gomez, because both of them are terrible actors, and each of them deserve a little slice of this Razzie. Just chop it in half and give it to both of them. That's my preference, and I'm not just saying that because Getaway was a horrible movie or Medea Christmas was a horrible movie. These are two bad actors, bad thespians in really horrible, ill-conceived movies. So when I say give it to Selena Gomez and or Tyler Perry, I am saying that because of their performances. Alright, so worst actor, we have Johnny Depp in The Lone Ranger, Ashton Kutcher in Jobs, Adam Sandler in Grown Ups 2, Jaden Smith in After Earth, and Sylvester Stallone in Bullet to the Head, Escape Plan, and Grudge Match. Adam Sandler. I'm not just saying that. I'm not saying that because I hate Adam Sandler. I am saying that because Adam Sandler deserves it. Because Johnny Depp is not a bad actor. He didn't really give that bad of a performance. I at least believe that he was weird as Tonto. Ashton Kutcher, I don't really think gave a bad performance as Steve Jobs. Jobs just wasn't very well written. Adam Sandler or Ashton Kutcher really wanted to do justice to Steve Jobs, so much so that I even heard that he took part in nitpicking the set and what props were where. I mean, he really wanted to get that right. So I don't want to put Ashton Kutcher there. Jaden Smith, again, I don't really know how much is his fault, because he's just being influenced by his dad. He's being influenced by M. Night Shyamalan, both of whom were telling him, you are giving a good performance, and he wasn't. Sylvester Stallone has never been able to act. At least not very well. I mean, he's good at what he does, but what he does is getting very old at this point. Especially when put in a horrible movie like Bullet to the Head. I never got around to seeing Escape Plan or Grudge Match, but I can't really see Stallone getting nominated for a Razzie because, again, it's basically the same thing he's been doing for many, many years. So I honestly think Sandler deserves this one. Mainly for sheer lack of effort and just being a talentless hack. And finally, we have Worst Picture. We have After Earth. We have Lone Ranger. We have The Lone Ranger. We have Grown Ups 2. We have A Medea Christmas, and we have Movie 43. Sorely missing is Getaway, Scary Movie 5, A Haunted House, The Host. The Host was nowhere on the Razzies. That was actually pretty surprising. Like, worst screenplay, The Host. I could see that. But, no, it's not on here. I don't know why. Twilight was all over the Razzies. Twilight has been all over the Razzies for years. So I don't know why The Host got a free pass. But, you could probably guess my opinion on this already. Movie 43 or Grown Ups 2. If either of those movies take away this Worst Picture award, I would be satisfied because both of them deserve it. Grown Ups 2 and Movie 43, and possibly Medea Christmas. Because those three movies are I think the reason why. Those are step by step how not to make a movie. Those are step by step how to make just a cinematic abomination. So yeah, that's all I got for the Razzies. Once again, I'm actually more on board with what they nominated for the Razzies than I am for what they nominated for the Oscars. But we will see what happens. And as for what I think will take home the Worst Picture, either Grown Ups 2, After Earth, or Movie 43. Hopefully Movie 43.